quarter. Meanwhile, online gaming company WinZO has announced its expansion into Brazil. Now, the strategic decision comes at a time when Indian gaming companies are grappling with a hike in the goods and services tax, a move that has been a major roadblock for emerging startups in the sector. Now, the company is investing $25 million in Brazil, and my colleague Shivani Bazaz caught up with the co-founder of WinZO, Pawan Nanda, and began by asking him their plans and the reasons for choosing Brazil as their next destination. Take a look.
Brazil, I think, is a fantastic opportunity. I'll just share some statistics for you to understand why we decided to launch in Brazil. Firstly, it's a very similar very similar market to India. So we understand India, and that's why it makes sense for us. We have that kind of familiarity is there. There's a strong emerging market play. It's the fourth largest mobile gaming market. Has about 5 billion odd game downloads every year. Then we have about 90 odd million users or gamers in Brazil, so it's a very time-rich audience. Then, if you talk about fintech, again, there's a strong democratization of payments that's happening in Brazil, just the way it happened here in India, in the form of UPI. And I think that there are a lot of similarities, there are a lot of parallels. It's a fantastic market in terms of the kind of games, the kind of content that people consume. Again, very similar to India. Strong creator economy. I think for those reasons, we feel that WinZO will be successful in Brazil, and that's why we wanted to sort of start off our international expansion from that.
Sure. Pawan, was this expansion, the international expansion, on cards when you launched, or was this accelerated by what is happening in the country, the uncertainty in the GST regime that we've seen in the last 1 year? Tell us more about how, was that a trigger, or was it already on the cards?
See, to be very honest, in fact, when we started WinZO back in 2018, as an entrepreneur, we had two dreams. One was to make India's largest social gaming platform. I think to a certain extent, we can proudly say that WinZO, with about 150 odd million gamers, today is India's largest social gaming platform. And the second one was to really make India proud and build a true pure tech product out of India for the world, right? Just the way probably a Facebook or a Google has, made West proud. We wanted WinZO to make the entire nation proud that strong tech and product companies can emerge out of the country and can really garner a lot of fans, garner a lot of users, and become really popular all across the world. So that was always the dream from day zero. Of course, we first for 4-5 years we wanted to achieve a product market fit, but now the time has come for us to launch. You mentioned that the new GST regime and what's happening on those fronts, that has definitely played a role in accelerating it. We probably would have launched a bit later, but as a move to diversify, we thought it could be prudent. It makes a lot of sense to just accelerate and probably start launching in other geographies, and we put Brazil as one of them.
I would want to circle back to the regulatory scenario in India and speak a little about the, as you said, it's just been launched on 1st October, the new GST regime, even though there have been retrospective actions on some companies. We'll not go there, but there is a 6 months review period that has been spoken about by the government. How does that make you feel as a player? Is that sort of a hope in this scenario?
We are absolutely very hopeful. I think it's a very crucial time. That 6 month period is a review period is something that we really pray and hope that the decision makers, the policy makers, are keeping a close eye on what's happening on ground. There will be, I'm sure it's much is reported. There are people who are, who have to, let's say, people who are losing jobs to, there is absolutely no capital coming into the sector. Some of the early stage or smaller players have actually shut shops. And over the next 6 months, it's important that a good check on, what's the impact of the new GST regime is made, and we are personally very hopeful that post the 6 month review period, we might hear some positive news from the decision makers and the policy makers.
Okay, get ready.